Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coach's Corner. We're here at the Torrey Hunter Baseball Softball Little League Complex with head baseball coach Carlos James. Coach, thank you for coming in.
All right.
Well, Coach, you've been on the road for the past 2 weeks. How does it feel to be back at home?
It feels good to be back home. I mean, being on the road, it's actually 3 weeks if you count that Alabama week. But it's glad to get the guys home and get them back into, acclimate to school and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll be ready to go this weekend.
Well, Coach, speaking of Alabama, you had an impressive 8-3 win over Alabama. How does that feel?
That's pretty good. I mean, it's one of those things to where we built our program to a point to where, we expect to win some of those games. Over the past years, we have beaten teams like that before. So, it's good to beat a Power 5, but, we kind of now, it's kind of an expectation for UAPB baseball to beat somebody, pretty big every year. So, but it's good. It's good for the new kids to get some confidence and know that they can beat anybody.
Well, talk about a little bit more about that 4-game series, Coach.
Oh, it was tough. Actually, anytime you go in and play at SEC school, and like you and I always talk about, we're limited in scholarships, only having the 4.9 scholarships, and then you play in a Power 5 school with 11.7, and, and then they got all the bells and whistles. Alabama just moved into a new $50 million stadium that, every time they come out to the field or hit a home runs, the lights go on and off and stuff like that. So, and then you play on television. So it was different for us, but here we don't make any excuses. We try to do more with less, and somehow we went in there and we got focused for one game and got it done.
Okay. Well, Coach, this marks your 3rd career win over SEC team.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I had 4. Okay. But 3. 3 is fine. That's good.
And you're also your 3rd win over a ranked opponent.
That's awesome. That's pretty good.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's just a testament to, all the guys that's done worked in the program, all the assistant coaches that I've had, all the players that we've had here at UAPB. That's just what it really boils down to, is just surrounding yourself with good people.
Well, Coach, talk about seeing we've been hitting the long ball a lot lately. Talk about that a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, I can't really explain it. We've been playing on a lot of days probably like this, with the wind blowing out. We've been catching it pretty good, just hopefully that we can, keep it up, as the season go on, and then add some pitching to that, and then we can probably get on a pretty good win streak. Okay,
because we have 15 homers so far on the season. So
do we?
Yeah.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Last year we finished with 24, so you're just 9 from 24.
Yeah, we're not even halfway done yet, so that's pretty good.
Okay. Well, Coach, talk about playing Southern this weekend.
I mean, Southern, anytime you play Southern, it's always going to be a battle. I mean, with Coach Kadar, he's a legend, so his team's going to always be ready to play. You can't look at their record. If you look at their record, that's misleading, because one thing about it, his guys going to be prepared. They got a fairly young team as well, so and they struggle pitching just like we do. So it'd probably be a pretty interesting series. This probably be the series where the pitchers, both teams' pitchers will be on, and we'll probably have a bunch of 3-2, 5-4 games. But who knows? As long as we win them, it's okay.
Well, speaking of Coach Kadar, talk about the success he's had at Southern, how he trailblazed the way for you and other coaches in the conference. Oh,
his success has been tremendous. I mean, it's one of those things to where, I personally one of his, I'm a fan of his. I just think what he's done at Southern is phenomenal. I don't think it'll ever be done again at one spot. Because, just the way, things are now. Guys move around, coaches move around, fans get tired of you, administration get tired of you. But for him to be there as long as he's been and had the success he's had, it's been great. I'm hoping that he don't have any more success, because that means we're not having any. But he's somebody that mentors me, and I look up to him, and it'll be good to see him this weekend.
Okay. Would you say he's one of the last of the founding fathers of the SWAC coaches in baseball?
Oh, he is.
That helped put the SWAC on the map?
Yeah, he definitely is. He is the guy that's left over that you can look to and call for mentorship, or he'll call you. I mean, he has a lot of different stories and things that's went on in the SWAC that helps us out, the young coaches out. So, I mean, I'm going to soak as much knowledge up as I can while he's still around.
Okay. Because you talk about Coach Brady. You talking about Coach Brady at Jackson State.
Uh-huh.
And you talk about Coach Kadar at Southern.
And
you talk
Ellis.
and Coach Ellis. And
Yeah.
you talk about Coach Candy Robinson at Texas Southern.
Yeah, Rat McGowan and
Red
Alcorn.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about those coaches.
I mean, all those guys, I got a chance to kind of be around them when I was assistant here in the early 2000s under Coach Bennett. And just to see those guys, the way they pretty much doing what we're doing here. I mean, they didn't have a lot of resources at that time. I remember Candy didn't have before scholarships, and Texas Southern ended up somehow winning the championship. I think it was 2008. And then Brady, he's just a legend himself. He actually recruited me out of high school. So, it was good to see him when I was, as an assistant coach. I hadn't had a chance to see him lately other than at the tournament, but he's good as well. And then Rat McGowan is Rat McGowan. I mean, he's a legend in his own right, and the stadium down there at Alcorn, which is a beautiful stadium that's named after him as well. So, the history is bright. I mean, the history has been good to us in the SWAC, and I just hope that, us new coaches can keep that going and raise the level of the conference.
Okay. Well, Coach, let's go to the conference standings here. Let's go to the East first. We have Alabama State at 7-2. In first place, Jackson State at 6-3. In second place, Alabama A&M. In third place at 5-4. Alcorn at 3-6 in fourth place, and Mississippi Valley at 3-9. What do you say about teams on the East? Because we face Alabama A&M later on in the season.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama A&M is always a pretty good team, but it just so happened that they play in a conference with, you got Alabama State and Jackson State. Those two teams have, over the last few years, have been at the top of that conference. Jackson State winning back-to-back titles, I think in 13 and 14, like 14 and 15, something like that. And then Alabama State winning it last year. So, that's the tough part about being Alabama A&M in that conference. It's like you're the third child once removed, in that conference. But they're a very good team, and we look forward to playing against them.
Okay, now let's go to our division, the Western Division. Coach, Texas Southern at 8-3 in first place. We're in second place at 5-4. Grambling State is 4-5, and Prairie View is 4-5, tied for third place. And Southern down at the bottom at 2-6, an unfamiliar spot for Southern.
Yeah. I mean, but like I say, they got a young team. Kadar is just kind of trying to rebuild the program back up to where it once was. Unfortunately, you got a lot of good coaches in the conference. There's a lot of schools that's to put a lot of more money into baseball now, and it's going to be tough. But if anybody can get it done, Coach Kadar can.
All right. Well, Coach, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Hopefully, we can get on a good win streak starting this weekend, and like we did last year. I think last year this time we was around second place as well. Matter of fact, the last 3 years, and we usually play very well at home. We got 3 of the last 5 conference series are at home, which is good for us. And then the other 2 is at Southern and at Grambling, which we usually always play pretty well there over the last 3 years. So we're looking forward to get some consistency on the mound and to go with the hitting that we got and play better defense, and we should make a run at another division title.
Okay. Well, this weekend, like we said, we have Southern, and we're going to change it up a little bit this weekend.
Yeah.
On Friday, we're going to play at 3 o'clock, single game, and on Saturday, we're going to start at 12 o'clock for a doubleheader.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Well, like I said, I'm Ronnie Johnson with head baseball coach Carlos James, and that's UAPB baseball this weekend, Friday at 3 o'clock here at the Torrey Hunter Baseball Softball Little League Complex, and a doubleheader on Saturday starting at 12. So come on out. Once again, thank you for joining us, and have a good one.
Go Lions.